VTubing isn't really oversaturated. I think it's just the variety of content that is. I've seen plenty of like videos recently online talking about VTubing, and I've also seen the sentiment like on social media as well about how VTubing is oversaturated, and if you start now, you're kind of late to the party and all that stuff. And I don't really agree with that. I think it's just the type of content that VTubers make is oversaturated. For example, if you look at some of your favorite VTubers that you watch or whatever, a lot of them you'll notice probably do the same type of content. You know, they usually, and I'm not trying to, you know, shit on anybody for anything they're doing, you know, like I'm guilty of this too. Like a lot of them do reaction content, I do reaction content, or it's like just chatting streams or whatever, you know, things like that. And again, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with those things. If something works, why, you know, trying to reinvent the wheel, right? It's already working, it's proven. So I can't blame anybody for doing that, especially if you're just getting started. But the idea of that VTubing is oversaturated is kind of, I don't know. I think people are just being a little dramatic because first of all, VTubing is still like, I've said this before, it's still in its infancy. It's only, what, a couple of years old at most, maybe like 5 or 6 years old. Maybe I might be getting that number wrong, but I don't think it's much longer than that since VTubing has been around. It's only just now coming into the public eye, if we're being completely honest. I think the real issue is a lot of new VTubers come into this space and they try to imitate their favorite VTubers that they're watching that maybe inspired them to get started, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. But if you really do want to try and carve out your own lane or be successful at this, you definitely got to approach it from, okay, what can I do different? Or better yet, if I'm going to imitate my favorite VTuber, right? How can I take what they do and just make it my own? I think that's what a lot of VTubers new VTubers rather, don't really do. They don't really try to innovate on their favorite type of content. And I can't blame them, you know, when you're first getting started, you just, you know, you're doing what you think you should be doing. And it's something you got to learn along the way. Like I'm still new to this. I'm still trying to figure out my own type of thing that I want to do. I'm guilty of doing reaction content, which I have nothing against. Like I like doing reaction content. I think it's fun to do every now and then. But I also want to innovate on my own content and just trying different things to kind of stand out and, I don't know, diversify my own content really. And I guess that's what this video is. I'm just trying something different here. So I apologize if this is something you guys aren't really used to or maybe even into. What's this? I just unlocked something. How do I get this off my screen? Oh, okay. It was just a little notification. Cool. Where was I? Oh, no. So I was basically saying this is just me trying to, like, I can still make the type of content I want. Like, I really like doing commentary and I do like playing games, but I don't really play a lot of games on this channel. But I figured why not try to combine them both and just do my own commentary over a gameplay that really has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, is what this pretty much is. But I guess what I'm really just trying to say is anybody who's just getting started out there, new VTubers, really try to do your own thing. I understand you want to imitate your favorite creators, but that's not really going to help you stand out. Because when you think about it, let's say you're just getting started, you're a new VTuber, and you see your favorite VTubers playing a certain game, right? You would think that maybe you got to play that game, which maybe you do, you know, that's the meta. It could help get eyes on your content. But the problem becomes is, why would any fans who already have like their favorite VTubers and they already like expect a certain type of content from those VTubers, why would they come to your stream, someone who's just getting started, to watch your content if you're already doing what the bigger, you know, VTubers are already doing? They could already get that from them. Like, what can they get from you that they could only get from you and not necessarily from, you know, the bigger streamers they're already used to watching? Because if we're being honest, a lot of people don't really step out their comfort zone when it comes to checking out new content creators. It's kind of rare. I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I force myself, like I kind of force myself to check out new creators really. And I've surprised myself. I've come across a few that I thought was like, that's actually inspired the type of content I'm making myself. So if you're just getting started, you definitely have to take that risk of finding the balance between doing what's popular and what's working for everybody already, and trying to put a twist on it, or just do it in your own way, or maybe just standing out doing something completely different to begin with. You're probably going to grow slower because of that, but there's also a good chance that somebody, like the right people, find you quicker because you're standing out and doing something different. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but that's just how I feel. You really just gotta take a chance on trying something different. And you don't necessarily, like I said earlier, have to reinvent the wheel completely. If something is working, you want to take that and just, how can you change it? How can you switch it up and just make it a little bit better? That's all. I don't know what this video was really supposed to be. I kind of just wanted to vent a little bit because I've been seeing this topic going around and it annoyed me a little bit, not to a serious degree or anything like that. Like, I'm not mad at it, but I was just like, I don't think VTubing is saturated, especially when you look at it from the point of it's kind of still small. It's just right now it's starting to blow up and become a little bit in the mainstream eye. And when you think about the amount of people on this platform, whichever platform you make content, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, there's so many people on this platform that still don't even know what a VTuber is. So I don't say the market is saturated. I think we're getting to a point where you're seeing so many people, or it's becoming easier to access and make this type of content as a VTuber. I think that's really what it is. So it feels like it's saturated, but it really isn't. A lot of people are just making the same content. That's also adding to it feeling like it's, you know, it's saturated because everybody's doing the same thing. So of course. And if you compare VTubers to IRL creators, something I've noticed is IRL creators while they do copy each other and kind of just, you know, make the same content, they try new things more often than I see with VTubers, you know? I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because of the limitation of being a VTuber. You can't exactly do certain things, but there's still a lot of things I believe haven't really been done as far as VTubing goes that can be experimented with. It just takes a little bit of thinking and figuring out how you're going to do it as a VTuber. I think that's the biggest issue. But yeah, that was, I don't know, that was just pretty much all I had to say. I just wanted to vent and get this off my mind. Really, it's not really that, I don't know, I guess it's not really that deep. But this is something I want to try doing more often. I want to experiment my content and see what I can do. So again, I apologize if wasn't your cup of tea. If you're used to a certain thing from me, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I really want to try different things because if I don't, I feel like I'll stagnate. But I guess that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Hopefully somebody enjoyed it, got something out of it, out of me rambling, because that's all this is. That's all my content is, as I noticed. It's just me rambling about whatever. So I think I'm just going to stick to that.